Now we're going to start basically writing some software that will control some hardware using a microcontroller like the ESP32. To start off with, if we look at the very presentation that I've prepared about inputs output pins, we need to first of all understand some hardware. One particular item is this very thing that I'm holding in my hand, and that is a light emitting diode, short for LED. Now this thing is basically, when electricity flows through it or current flows through it, it basically emits light, as the name suggests. The one thing you need to know is that it has a positive and a negative terminal, and the way you would know which one it is very simple. It's basically by the length of the pins themselves. So you can see one is slightly longer than the other, and the longer one is actually the positive. The other thing that you really need to understand is that it's actually it is basically forward bias, and what that means is that current can only flow from the positive to the negative. It does not flow from the negative to the positive. So if you have installed it and written some code and for some reason it's not working, there is a good chance that you might have put the diode the other way around. So have that and go. So basically pull it out, put it the other way around, see if you have actually linked it up the other way around. The other thing I need to explain to you before we start doing anything at all is breadboards. Now, in the old days, what you can see here in this beautiful picture is what engineers used to do. Go up to their wives or maybe go into their own kitchen, pick up a breadboard and start soldering and creating circuits like the one you see here. Now, as you can see, that's quite cumbersome. It takes ages and you probably make a lot of mistakes. You can see that maybe in this case because it has a few holes not in the right place. Today what we do is a little bit easier. We use something called a breadboard, which you see right here. And if I was to actually, and what you can see here is basically, you can see it says positive and negative. These are just markings. You can use it as you like, but it's a good idea to stick to those markings and to those ideas. And just remember, generally speaking, wires that are red usually mean they're positive. Wires that are black usually mean they're negative. And so what it is if we were to remove this piece of plastic, what is really behind it is basically strips of metal. So the positive here you can see is basically a single strip of metal right here. So if you put any pins in this area, you will be able to pick up, you'll be able to make continuity with it. So that means that they're actually all in contact with each other. And then the same applies for the negative, and you've got another one on the other side. And as for those, they just go basically across as shown here. Now, let's look at our schematic first and foremost before we get into actually writing some code. Now, the way I've done this is really simple. You can see I have taken a 3.3 volt. I've taken the 3.3 volt output from the ESP32 and I've connected it to the breadboard to the positive. I've taken the ground or the negative and connected it to the negative. And you can see that I have taken pin 30, let's see which one this is. This is 32. And I've basically connected that to the LED, and you can see that my positive is where the input is. And then the negative is connected to a resistor. That's to protect the LED from blowing up, which can happen at high voltage. And basically that's linked to the negative. So we've got a full nice little circuit. If we now go to this particular slide, this is quite important. And the reason this is important is because you need to understand the terminology that is used here. The first is basically what is a pin mode. Pin mode is basically where you need to tell the ESP32 what you're really having. Is it an input or output? Now, the next thing is we're quite lucky because with the ESP32 we have what we call a GIOP, which basically stands for General Input Output pins. What that means is that you can use them either as digital or analog. And for the digital, you can either write, so that means you can instruct it to have an output, so basically to say it's high or low, or you can actually read the signal that's coming from wherever it is. The same applies for analog. You can basically read it, so it reads a value from 0 to 1023, which we'll show you in a bit. And we can also write, so that means we can say what our output we would like to have, and the values are usually between 0 to 255. I have opened here an empty screen, and I'm going to actually start writing code directly for you. The first thing we want to do is, like I said, is basically define whether the pin that we're using is basically an input or an output. As you know here, if we look back here again, pin 32, in our case, our pin 32 is basically an output in this case. So the way we're going to do this is very simple. We're going to write pin. We're going to write pin mode, open bracket. We're going to write 32 because that's the pin number that we're using, and we're going to write output as indicated here, and then semicolon. We're going to remove that comment there because we really don't need it. And then the next thing we need to do is basically write some function. In this case, what I want to do is basically take my LED right here and basically make it emit light and then go off, emit light, go off. And I'm going to do it every half a second. So how do we do that? Very, very easy. So the first thing we're going to do is basically write digital write. And in this case, we're going to write 32, which is our pin number, and we're going to define that as high. High means we're going to give it a full voltage, in this case 3.3. So semicolon, and then what we're going to do is introduce a delay. So basically this will this line of code that we've just done, it basically will make the LED light up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to keep it on for about half a second, which is 500 milliseconds. And then we're going to digital write 32, and we're going to go this time low. And what that means is basically it's going to switch off. How long for? Let's do it for 100, for half a second again. So that's our code. Very simple, very straightforward. So now let's see if everything is correct. We can see that the ESP32 board has been selected. My USB has been selected. I know my upload speed is correct. It's at 115200, and we're good to go. So let's press that button. This is going to compile it and send it off to the microcontroller. So what we can see here, if I cover this area, I think you should be able to see that it's actually lighting up on and off half a second at a time. Now what we're going to do is upgrade the circuitry a little bit. Let me show you what we're going to do. Okay, so if you look at my circuitry, what I've really done here is basically connected a negative line to here. I've connected the positive line to here. I've put a pin, I've connected the pin up to pin 33. And I'm using now this thing called a potentiometer. And basically what it is, it's a variable resistor. And if I was to put it like this, basically what it is as you turn it, you can either increase or reduce the resistance. And that in turn basically increases or reduces the voltage. So now what we're going to do is we want to make the potentiometer as basically the voltage increases as we're turning it, that the LED becomes brighter. So let's see how that's programmed, or how we should program it. Now I've started off with a new page, and the first thing I want to do is really simple. I want to actually use the serial communication line. I want to see what we're actually programming, because that will help us debug in case there are any mistakes. So I'm going to say serial.begin, and I'm going to assign it to 115200 and semicolon. Now what we're going to do is we're also going to need a variable. In this case we're going to use an integer, and we're going to call it LED brightness. I'm going to give an initial value of 0, but you really don't need to. Then what we're going to do is basically say LED brightness. Oh, and there is a little trick. You could just literally double click on it and you can just copy and paste it. And basically say that this is equal to analog read, and the pin here that we have is 33. And what we're going to do is basically, I want to print this. So we're going to write serial print, oops, if I can spell, print line. The ln at the end basically means that we're always using a new line, which is good. It means it's easier for us to see. So in this case, we're gonna paste the name LED brightness again, put a semicolon, and then last but not least, it's good to actually have a little bit of a delay there. So I'm gonna put a very small delay of just 1/10 of a second, which is 1 over 1,000, 1 over 100 over 1,000 of a second. So, and now we're gonna load it. Now, when loading, just remember to check that you've correctly picked up the correct board, that you have connected the USB, and then most important, the upload speed is actually at the right value. So we're getting an error, was not declared analog. So it's clear that I've made a mistake here. Let's see, analog. My spelling is all over the place. So analog rate, there. Now I think we should be okay. So let's compile that and see if that works. So it's uploaded. Let's go to our serial monitor by clicking right here. And we can see the value right there. And I'm gonna actually just basically just turn it. Oh, and we can see the number is actually being published all the way. So that's really good. Now let's take note of the number. We can see that it goes from 0 all the way up to 4,095. Now we're going to use a really cool feature, and I'll explain that in a second, but for now just bear with me. If we go back to the Arduino reference page, if we go to map, we can see this function called map. And the way it works is really simple. If you, let's say, want to basically scale something from one value to a totally different value, then you can use this function. And basically what it means is we can literally just copy this. And before we do that, let me explain how this works. So here we have a variable, and we can see that the variable is coming in between a value of 1 to 50. And we want to basically change that to have a range instead between 50 to -100. So this function is rather very useful. The one thing you need to know about this function, and this is really important, that it actually works in integer. That means if you have any decimal places, it's just going to basically knock them right off. So if you want to have decimal places because you want that level of accuracy, then it's best to actually write up the equation yourself and work it out. So in our case, I'm happy to go on without it, that's fine. And what we're going to do is basically take this value, we're going to copy it and paste it there. Now, we know that the function that we want to do is basically LED brightness, and we know the value is between 0 and the value that we see here at the bottom, which is 4,095. And we want to work with a number that is basically, we want to rescale it, or scale it again to between 0 to 255. Now I'm going to upload it and see if that works. Now, you're probably wondering, why am I doing this? Why is this so important? And the answer is that because we're going to ask the LED to basically, the brightness of the LED, or basically the output from the digital. Oh, I've done something wrong. And then last but not least, what we need to do is basically get it to become the new LED brightness. So if we do that, that's fine. So the question is, why am I doing this? And the answer is really, really, really simple. The digital output only works between values of 0 to 255. And if we go back to our presentation, you can see that the value only operates between 0 to 55. And this is why I've basically scaled it between 0 to 55 instead. So it looks like we've uploaded. If we go here again, to our serial monitor, we can see that. And if we go down, we can see that we are getting the range that we wanted, which is great. Okay, and then the last thing that we need to do is basically make the pin output whatever value that we get from LED brightness. So in this case, we're going to do analog, right? The analog pin that we're using is 32 in this case, and we're going to basically put brightness there. And semicolon, let's upload that and see what happens. Okay, so it's done now. So we're going to basically click on serial monitor. We can see the value is 0. We can see our LED is very dark. Now I'm going to basically increase the number. You can see it's increasing, and you can see my LED is getting brighter. So as you've seen, with just a little bit of code, we've been able to write some software that controls some hardware. Now, I have actually some examples here for you that I would like you to give it a go and to see if you're able to write code that actually carries out those very instructions.